I once put loads of Cocoa Pops into an extractor and fired them at my face. I'm hoping I'm doing a van conversion series throughout this year.
We need an overlay of the Cocoa Pops in the face.
It's spectacular.
Hey guys, Jonathan here at the Northwich Maker Space. I'm in the kitchen social area. It's all finished, it's looking slick, it's feeling really nice. And this week we've been doing our inductions. We've had a few members down here already and it's been great to see some members in the space, making plans for what they want to build, what they want to do, what they want to use. I'm still here finishing off bits and pieces, but you can take out your memberships now and get your inductions booked. So head over to northwichmakerspace.co.uk. You can see all the equipment, you can see some pictures of the space, you can see all the YouTube videos we've made up to this point. It's all on northwichmakerspace.co.uk. You can get your storage sorted, you can get your membership sorted. So head over there for that. In this video though, we wanted to look at what you're going to build in the space. Have you got ideas already? Let us know in the comments if you've already got a plan for what you want to build in the space. If you don't know what you're going to build, there's loads of different areas you can get inspiration from. Whether it's books, we've got a huge amount of books in the space, from arts, crafts, woodwork, or maybe you follow some YouTubers, some different makers and creators. But we actually did some of that homework for you, and last year we went to the Maker Central show in Birmingham. If you don't know what that is, it's a great show. Some of the makers across the world and the UK head down there, get together and share all their projects, so it's fantastic. Nickzammeti, who's a big maker on YouTube, organises that show. We were there and actually were lucky enough to interview and speak to a whole host of creators and makers from across the world. And we asked them about their favourite projects, their personal favourite projects, not just the best viewed ones or the most viewed or the most successful, their own favourites. And we've got a really cool list, 10 of the biggest makers at the show, their best projects, and we're going to share them with you today and hopefully give you some inspiration of what you want to build at the Northwich Maker Space. But before all that, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell icon. You don't want to miss any of the future videos from Northwich Maker Space because we've finished the build now, so it's on to the fun stuff. What are we going to make down here? What are the projects going to be? So, the first project we're going to share with you is Ruth Amos and her cake car. Pretty quirky build, but I'm sure you're going to love it. Let's take a look.
On KidsInventStuff, we built a giant gravity racer that's shaped like a cake and made out of cake. And that was quite fun. Yeah, more for the fact that we took it to an actual gravity race and people take it very seriously, and they turned up with their lovely gravity racers and we rocked up with this like giant ice cake, and then we got to actually race it.
Who wouldn't love a cake car? Gotta love it. And Ruth Amos has got some really quirky builds over on her channel and the KidsInventStuff channel. So we'll put the links for all these makers in the description so you can go and get some more inspiration if that wasn't enough. But I'm in the woodworking area now. This is the wood shop in the Maker Space. It's all kitted out. We've got the radial arm saw all set up. It does 600 wide cuts. You can also rotate the head and do rips as well. We've got the compound miter saw set up there. It's all looking great in here. This is quite a new addition. This hasn't been in any of our update videos. This is our downdraft extractor. So any hand sanding, stuff like that, will be done on this bench. So it's looking great in here. But while we're in the joinery shop, or the woodworking shop, why don't we check out a woodworking project with AverageJoesJoinery. This is a great guy. He's done a few cool projects, but this one is a really good one. Let's have a look.
I've done a series of projects for the Birmingham Children's Hospital, and one of them was a plywood table. So I cut a lot of discs of plywood and I layered it up. It almost looked like an Oreo cookie in the end because I capped it with walnut on top and bottom. So I layered it up, I included 3 shelves inside. I think I got a decent finish to it, so it had a nice shine, and the walnut top and bottom. And I inlaid a little red leather balloon because the Children's Hospital is a red balloon. And then we auctioned that off to raise money from. So that's always got like a place in my heart because I wouldn't be here without the Children's Hospital. Yeah. So any chance I get, I'll try to do that. But it's going to be hard to top that one for me, I think, even in the future, because it meant a lot.
I did a project with another YouTuber, and we made the Hammond cane from Jurassic Park. And I actually turned the jewel section of the top, you know, with the mosquito in it. And that's one of my favorite pieces.
Spared no expense.
But my favorite videos are the ones where I just go out there without a plan and do something weird.
Before you even knew what you had, you shot it, and you edited it, and you posted it on YouTube. Dislike.
Goldblum impression aside, great project from Peter. He's a great guy and does loads of cool projects. but that particular one stood out to us and it was great to hear his thoughts on it. If you're thinking about turning, we've got a couple of different wood turning lathes down here, starting with this little record power one. This is great for doing pens or little canes, little things like that. And then we've got this one for bigger projects. So gotta love this. And that takes us into our number 7 video, which is friend of the show, jpwoodwork, Jamie Page, who used a wood turning lathe like this one to do a wooden bowl. Let's check it out.
One of my favourite ones that I think it's probably one of the ones I've recently done actually. I've done like it was like a 15 or 16 inch Viking shield, like a platter type thing. I really enjoyed that. It had like acrylic paints, some metallic paints, blue dyes and all that kind of stuff, carving and all that sort of stuff on it. I really enjoyed doing that, like a blue boss in the middle, and I really enjoyed doing that. It's one of my favourite ones.
Great work on that project, Jamie. Now, it's not just bowls, canes, tables that you can make down at the Northwich Maker Space. Also, you could do a musical instrument. And here's a few projects to inspire you around that, starting off with nickzammeti.
Yeah, I mean, I did really enjoy doing the ukulele that I did. Although it's not my most viewed, but it did do fairly well. But the pencil ukulele, I think, was really cool. And the actual Lego guitar, I think, was quite good. Again, you know, they're not my best performing videos, but I enjoyed doing those, as you said. They're probably most enjoyed videos, I think, yeah.
One of my latest videos is making a Guitar Hero guitar into a MIDI instrument, and I spent so much time on that video editing, and I made it beautiful just like I wanted it. 5,000 views. I love the project, but it's also to the point where I can now reflect and realize, oh, I overworked this so much. I should have stopped, like, not days, but weeks before in the editing phase and actually cut away a lot of the fat in the video, basically.
Some great projects there, love all of those. And as you can see, I'm back in the woodworking area, in our main assembly area. And this cupboard has appeared out of nowhere. And this is going to be a future video, getting this thing organised. If you're not already aware, I do another YouTube channel, Shadow Foam channel. The link's in the description, you can go and check that out. And we're going to be using Shadow Foam to organise all of these drawers and getting all the hand tools really neatly organised. And we have got a few of the hand tools already. I'll show you these 2 kits. They already look quite nice in the boxes, to be fair. But we've got a couple of sets of chisels, got 2 sets of those, and then we've got 2 sets of these woodworking tools. Hopefully you can get some really fine carpentry builds done like that. Speaking of fine carpentry skills and woodworking skills, the next video we're going to show you is MattEstlea's build. Now this one's got to be seen to be believed. Let's have a look.
It wasn't my favourite at the time. It was actually the worst thing that I've ever embarked on. It was a river table, but with an actual river running through it. So you know they've got these epoxy river tables that people have done where they get 2 slabs and they fill it with epoxy. Well, I did that, but I did a little bit of epoxy to waterproof it, but then there was actually water going through it. So it goes between the slabs, down a waterfall, and then loops back round. I want to put like gravy in it or something one day, and then like dip potatoes or maybe custard into it. Beer.
So why did you hate it at the time? Just so difficult?
If you watch the video, every single thing that could have gone wrong went wrong.
Right.
The wood warped, the epoxy cracked. I made myself ill from it multiple times. Like, it's just a nightmare of a project.
And I just made a small replica cream egg. And that was probably my favourite project.
Yeah, what was it? Was it the project that you liked?
Yeah, well, it looked like a cream egg. You could actually sit it next to a cream egg, but it was made with wood and resin.
Wow.
And I mistakenly put it out at Christmas instead of Easter.
Right, okay.
What a crazy build from Matt. That is pretty intense, isn't it? And not all builds have to be that big down at the Makerspace. Something small, illustrated well by Pam from Highlandboxes, that kind of resin cream egg, a small build like that is something maybe better to start off with. Or as you can see in this, I'm in the craft room right now, you could come down here and print something, make a vinyl sign, use the sewing machines. It doesn't have to be an extreme woodworking project. It could be something small. Or let's head over to the 3D printing room, because that's another place you could start out with a smaller project. And let's take a look at MattDenton's project for some inspiration.
I really like the go-kart. because it's so much joy driving it around. And I just did it. My nephew finally got to drive it in my last video when I put the drift rims on, and seeing him drive it and him trying to be cool and not like smile all the time, and it stopped him, and he was like, "Oh my god, it was amazing!" You know. So he's 12 now. Been doing a bit of karting, so he's pretty good at it, and his reaction time's much faster than mine. So that was quite exciting. It's not done terribly well, but I just loved filming him, you know. And the last kit that I'm making at the moment, which is the classic 1980s car chassis. So the previous video to the go-kart was me putting the engine together, which I've got on my stand over there. And honest to God, when I got that together and I fired it up, I got a drill on it to rotate it and all the pistons were going. I couldn't stop smiling. It was just, you know, it was proper joy. And I hope it come across that way, because I was literally like, this is amazing. But it's very personal to me.
Imagine building your own Lego go-kart in here, because it would be possible. We've got all of the filament on the shelves that you would ever need. We've got all of these printers for PLA, ABS, they're all here ready to be used. And I can't wait to see what people are going to use these for, what they're going to build in the space. And obviously if it was something like MattDenton's where you need electronics too, you need a bit of metal work, we've got the metal area, we've got the electronics area. So we're all kitted out to build your very own go-kart here. So hopefully that inspired you. And last up, we've got colinfurze. Now, if you didn't know already, colinfurze actually backed the crowdfunder and put some money into the Northwich Maker Space. So he's a friend of Shadow Foam's. We've done a few videos with him. And when we asked him what project he would recommend to inspire other makers, I was pretty surprised by his answer, to be fair. Let's check it out.
In terms of a video, probably the beach hut where me and Rick spent 3 days on Six Marshes beach, digging that beach. We took it all with us. We kind of like pre-made it outside the shed, dismantled it all, took it there. We literally got everything, all the paint to decorate and everything. We didn't have to go anywhere else. We spent 3 days, amazing weather. Digging that we were gonna.
Is it 3 stories?
Yeah, it was 3 stories. We wanted to go down another one, but it just kept like trying to cave in. I was like, no. We were gonna sleep on the beach as well, but we were that knackered after the first day. I was like, no, let's go and get a bed and breakfast or something somewhere.
So
but it was brilliant.
Where did the idea come from to go and do that on the beach?
Well, every New Year's Eve, there's like a tradition where I go and dig a hole on the beach. Right. So like January 31st, I'll be either at that beach or somewhere else in the country, dig a chuffing grit hole, go home, have a takeaway, go to sleep. That's like
on the beach.
Oh no, we've got to fill it in afterwards, because I mean normally they're about 10 foot deep. Right, it's beach hut time.
So whether it's that crazy Rice Krispie can and MattEstlea built, or it's the beach hut, which is even crazier from colinfurze, or maybe one of the simpler builds that's inspired you, get down here to the Northwich Maker Space and make it happen. We've got all the facilities you're ever going to need to build any of these projects that you can think of, you can dream up. And I can't wait to see what people are going to build down here. So the first thing to do is head over to northwichmakerspace.co.uk, take out your membership, get your induction booked, come on down here and get that sorted. Next thing to do is subscribe to the channel, because we've got loads of videos on the way, loads of projects that you could be doing. So thank you very much for watching the video, and we'll see you down here.